In 2015, the Thompson family moved into a quiet little house in the suburbs. 6 months later, they moved out. And then, about a week after that, they weren't just gone. It was like they were deleted. Who is this? Just imagine. That's the question Mrs. Thompson's own mother asked her on the phone, just a few days after the family left 1423 Maple Street. And no, it wasn't a joke. It was the very beginning of this complete unraveling. A phenomenon that honestly messes with everything we think we know about memory and even existence itself. So you might be thinking, okay, another haunted house story. But this isn't about ghosts rattling chains. What we're diving into here is an investigation into a place that doesn't just haunt. It seems to actively erase people, turning them into phantoms in their own lives. It really all kicked off with the Thompsons. They lived on Maple Street for half a year. But a week after they packed up, it's like someone hit a cosmic delete button. Neighbors who waved at them every day suddenly had no memory of them. The landlord's office, no lease on file. Their children's school, no enrollment records, nothing. And this is the part that gets truly bizarre. This wasn't just a case of people being forgetful. The erasure was tangible, It seeped into the physical and the digital world. Employment files vanished, social media connections gone. The house didn't just take away memories, it took away the world's record of them. Now, as an investigator, my first instinct is always skepticism. This has to be a hoax, right? Some elaborate prank? But that skepticism, well, it started to crumble when I realized the Thompson case wasn't a one-off thing. It was part of a pattern. Get this, 11 different families have lived in that house since it was built back in 1978, and not a single one of them stayed for more than a year. Every last one reports these fragmented, disjointed, or just plain missing memories of their time there. And the effect seems to leak out. That quote? That's from Carla. She was a real estate agent who only showed the house a few times. She never even lived there. But that brief exposure was enough to start fraying the edges of her own identity. She eventually sold it to some mysterious corporation, a transaction she now barely remembers at all. The personal cost here is just devastating. That's from a guy named Mark, who lived in the house for just 1 year. He said when he left, he had to completely rebuild his professional life, but the deepest cut was personal. The house stole one of the most precious memories a parent can possibly have. So we've got these personal stories, which are heartbreaking, but this goes beyond testimony into something we can actually measure. This isn't just about fuzzy memories. There is some strange, tangible evidence that suggests something is physically happening at 1423 Maple Street. I went in there myself with my own gear. After just 3 hours, my camera was totally empty, my audio recorder filled with nothing but static. My notebook was full of scribbles that made no sense. And other investigators, same thing. Security footage catches the front door just opening and closing on its own. And brain scans of former residents all show the same thing: suppressed activity in the hippocampus. That's the memory center of your brain. A full paranormal team spent a night inside, and the timeline shows just how fast things went off the rails. At 10 p.m., everything's working. By 11, their tech starts to fail. Then, from midnight to 2 a.m., a collective blackout. They have absolutely no memory of what happened for those 2 hours. The experience was so disorienting that 15 minutes after they got out, one of their own researchers turned to the team and asked, "Who are you people?" You see, the house doesn't just erase memories, it seems to actively rewrite them. Take the Wilsons, who lived there in 2009. To this day, they have completely contradictory memories of the house's layout. He remembers a big staircase to the second floor. She remembers a basement. You can't have both. These conflicting realities to house planted in their heads, it eventually tore their family apart, for reasons neither of them can even remember anymore. So, where in the world did this phenomenon come from? To answer that, we have to dig deeper. Before the house was ever built, we have to look at the history of the land itself. Turns out, the house was built on the old grounds of a sanatorium, one that treated patients with severe memory disorders, dementia, Alzheimer's. The entire place, along with every single patient record, burned to the ground in a fire in 1975. So that land, it was saturated with the sorrow and confusion of profound memory loss long before a single brick of that house was ever laid. This account from a former nurse is just chilling. She tells this story of a gardener who'd worked there for a decade. One day, he just walked off into the woods on the grounds and vanished. When they looked for him, they couldn't find any record he ever worked there, no family to contact, nothing. It is the exact same pattern of erasure we're seeing today, which suggests that whatever this thing is, it was there first. And that brings us to the present day, and a totally different kind of mystery. Who owns this house now? And why is their identity being so carefully hidden? The paper trail is a complete dead end. The house is owned by an anonymous LLC, registered in Delaware, which is famous for corporate secrecy. It was bought with cash, and the law firm that handled the deal, they refused to comment. So someone with a lot of money wants this house, and they want to stay deep in the shadows. But why? To study it? To try and contain it? Or to use it? When the tangible clues run out, you're left with something far more unsettling. The whole investigation shifts from a mystery of lost records to this profound, terrifying question about what it even means to exist. A note was found tucked inside a wall during a remodel. It's like a message in a bottle. It's from a man named Daniel, who could feel himself and his family just slipping away. He wrote that he couldn't remember his kids' names, his wife's face. His only hope was that this one piece of paper would be an anchor to prove he was ever here. We searched everywhere. We found no birth certificate, no tax records, no trace of any man named Daniel ever being connected to that house. His desperate plea was just met with silence. It seems the universe sided with the house. So what are we even dealing with here? Is it some extreme, localized version of the Mandela effect? Is it related to that weird phenomenon of people's records just vanishing from government systems? Or is it something else? A neurological weapon? A memory-eating spirit from folklore? Or is the house itself a sentient thing that feeds on the one thing that proves we were ever here, our memories? The house forces us to face this ultimate, terrifying question. I mean, we define ourselves by our connections, our histories, the stories people tell about us. If you strip all of that away, what's left? Is memory the only real proof we ever lived at all? And that leads to the final haunting thought I want to leave you with. It's easy to say you wouldn't risk going in there, but the truly terrifying part isn't just being forgotten by the world. It's that you would forget yourself too. You wouldn't know what you'd lost. There would be no grief, no feeling of absence, just a quiet, clean, and total void.